Hello, friends. Shoot, I clicked the wrong button. All right, there we go. Now now I am just focused in on this lovely spontaneous live stream that I do every now and again. My name is Kate Mura with grouptarot.com, and I was doing my mailing list and Patreon today, and I realized that the numerology for today is like all of the magical threes. And consequently, I was like, of course, I want to go live at 3 p.m. Pacific today. And I have had this unboxing to do. uh oh, I want to say it actually arrived from Penguin Books about a week ago, but with the performances that I have had of assassins and working for and my other union work, it just was not happening. So I was like, today is the day, and I'm pretty sure I know what's in here, but I could be wrong. And it is some very strong paper. Yes, I was right. It is my copy of Queer Devotion by Charlie Claire Burgess. If you missed the live stream that I did with them earlier this year, please do check it out. And if you want to get your own copy of this, I will put their link into the chat. It is, I mean, queer expression and visibility is always important, whether it is Pride Month or any other month of the year, and whether it is in times when legislation is being put into many state and local and national governments that is unhelpful and actively harmful for queer and trans and non-binary bodies. And this book is so marvelously hopeful, but also really looks at the legacy and the shoulders that we're standing on, whether we identify as queer, trans, cis, what have you. We are on these ancestors' shoulders. And let's just do a little bit of bibliomancy and see what pops up on this fortuitous day of many, many threes. This is on page 121 in the chapter Questioning the Grail. The conceit that the Fisher King's disability is causing the land's devastation is deeply ableist. That the salvation of the land depends on him being healed into an able body is deeply ableist. If we read the king's wound, the Fisher King, as an indicator of queerness, Then queerness becomes the affliction, the curse that blights the land. Then it's his queerness that needs to be cured. In both readings, bodies, disabled, trans, intersex, and or identities, gay, queer, that are perceived as not normal, are punished, treated as afflictions in need of cures, and scapegoated for the ills of the entire kingdom. There seems to be no reading of Percival that does not ultimately uphold able bodied cis heteronormativity as the life giving idol of health and goodness that brings salvation to the land. However, I think there's a different way to read it. I think we might have had it backwards all along. What if the king's wound is not the cause of the wasteland after all? What if his wound isn't even a wound after all? Mm. I invite you to sit with that for a moment, to think about if there is anything in your life right now, whenever this video happens to come across your feed, if there is something that you perceive as a wound right now, something that needs to be healed, something that is bad and not good about you, and see what, if anything, comes up for yourself. Maybe you want to journal about it. Maybe you want to take a voice memo about it. Maybe you just want to talk out loud to whatever winds or other energies may be listening. What wound do you perceive or literally have in yourself, your body, whether that is something literal? Today I have some back aches a little bit. My knees are feeling pretty good though, gratefully. And whatever that is, what would happen if you reframe that wound into something else? Into a superpower, into an invitation, into something you love, into something that is deeply a part, or not, maybe not even necessarily deeply, but lovingly a part of who you are, how it is that you exist and move in the world. And maybe you want to do some movement right now, listening to your body in the way that only you can, as the only true expert of yourself. And how could it feel to allow whatever that wound, that hurt in yourself is, to be a superpower? What would that superpower be for you? Hmm. Using my body and what I am feeling in this moment as an example, if I try to think about the aches of my lower back as a superpower instead, it helps bring my attention to my pelvis and my center. It helps me think about how and where I attach and am a conduit for above and below. It invites me to be intentional with my movement, my body, my root chakra, my sex, my center. And take a moment to notice what's coming up for you, because it will be different than what's coming up for me. And it should be, because you and I do not have the same bodies. And if you enjoy knowing about pop-ups like these, especially I didn't do a live in May because of how full my schedule was with Broadway shows and with opening Assassins and the Outright Theater Festival. And what some of you may have missed is that I am going to be moving. I have been accepted into the Linklater Teaching MFA program at Rose Bruford College. And so I will be getting my MFA, and consequently, I will be changing a lot of how I interact and use YouTube, although I do already have a live on the books for next year, because a dear friend of mine and witch sister from way back in my Chicago years, Anna Yorosevich, has a new book on Slavic spirituality coming out through Llewellyn called Slava, and I'm ridiculously excited about this. So she and I are definitely going to be chatting about that in the future, but I honestly don't know how long and how much I'll be going live in 2025 through 2027, when I will graduate with my MFA and be a designated Linklater voice teacher. So do let me know what you would like to see, what you would like to hear, what interests you about the intersections of voice, theater, tarot, divination, oracle in the world. And to be able to stay in touch with me best, do become a join my mailing list at grouptarot.com, and I'm putting the links for that, as well as the links to join my Patreon in the comments. And special for new patrons in June of 2025, and very much inspired by today's card of the week, as well as Teethorn Coil's mailing list that I love to receive, and you may also. Their card was the Three of Bones, which I built upon and delved into a little differently, especially with the numerology of today being so many marvelous threes and nines, and so good. For new patrons who uh, join on one of the paid levels, I will send you a unique, just for you, 3 card reading with threes for your own growth and stability and personal pillars and clarifying mission, vision, values of yourself or something else. If you want to ask for that, you're most welcome to do so. And yeah, is there anything else that wants to come through today? No. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of and witnessing the shifts and changes that will inevitably happen as I get ready to be a 40 something grad student and have a beautiful day as you do your part in making a best new world out there, one that's more beautiful, equitable and ethical, sustainable and timely. And I look forward to having you be an active part of this community.